And now, suspense.
Hey everybody, it's Fox and I'm back with another physical media haul. This time I'm going to show you guys everything that I picked up while I was on vacation for my birthday in Hawaii on Honolulu Island. And while I was on this vacation, just to unwind from work, because I've just been working nonstop for a very long time, I just needed a couple weeks to just chill and sit on the beach on a tropical island. But the movie lover in me just needed to find a place with a lot of really cool movies that I could hopefully buy. And luckily I was able to do that. So I got some pretty fun things to show you guys. And if you noticed, I did introduce myself at the beginning of the video, which is kind of weird for me, but I'm trying some new things in front of the camera and behind the scenes that will hopefully help me crack the YouTube algorithm to get my videos out to a wider audience. For those of you that have been sticking around for me for a very long time, I thank you very much. Nothing drastic is really going to change. I'm just trying different things to help me get better views and more subscribers, really. And I know I've never really been someone who really tries to do that because I do YouTube as a hobby. But lately I just thought, you know what, let me just try something. If it doesn't work, then I'm, right where I started. I mean, it can only really help. And if I've really just truly plateaued on YouTube, then, it is what it is. But it doesn't hurt to just try new things. So actually on my birthday, I looked up some places to go to, find some movies. We had hit a Goodwill, but it was a very odd Goodwill. Definitely unlike anything that we have here. It is definitely odd and honestly not very good. So that was a bust. And then we decided I'm just going to look up some, record stores, like used media stores. But funny enough, on the way to this bookstore that sells movies, we happened upon a book off, which was amazing because I love book off. The only time I ever actually get to go there is when we go to California and San Diego. That's the only book off I've ever been to. And every time I go there, I spend tons of money because I just find so much good stuff. So I was super hyped to find a book off on the island. So let's get into it. So the one and only Blu-ray I got was an anime, probably my favorite anime film as of right now. We have Your Name. And if you see me looking over here, my monitor's over here. I recently got like one of those arms for my camera so that you clip onto, the desk or shelf or whatever. So my camera's over here, my monitor's over here. I'm trying to make sure everything's in focus. I'm not a huge fan of anime. I've pretty much made that known, but this film is just absolutely amazing. The storytelling is great. The way the animation is as well is just gorgeous to look at. It's a body swap element story with a little bit of romance and time travel, which is totally up my alley. I love me some time travel movies. So I gotta say, like it's neck and neck right now with Suzume, which is another anime film that came out last year, which I think is amazing. And hopefully it's gonna get another theatrical run because the original theatrical run that it had was not that great. But hopefully it gets the love it deserves because it's absolutely amazing. And it is gonna get a Blu-ray release soon, and I'm gonna try to get my hands on it, but it seems that it's gonna be one of those like box sets that's super expensive, but we'll see what happens. So we got Your Name. Next up is a movie that feels very dated, and the story behind it says it all. Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley in Chaos Walking. So this movie is considered to be pretty bad by a lot of people, but honestly, it's really not as bad as I had heard. It's literally $4. Why not? If I don't like it, then I can just sell it to Bookmans and get my money back, maybe twice that. So this movie feels very dated in the sense that it was shot back in 2017 and the studios deemed it to be unreleasable. But since then, Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley have gotten pretty big. So they thought, let's capitalize off of that and put this out. So this came out in 2021. With like very little promotion or anything. And it's definitely something that should have come out like maybe 10 years ago because it's trying to capitalize off of a YA novel. And honestly, that trend has come and gone. The people here, they're on a different planet, not Earth. Spoiler alert. But they're not on Earth. And on this planet, all of the males have like a word bubble, like a thought bubble, like in the comics. It's just literally above their heads and everybody can see what you're thinking and hear what you're thinking. And it's only in the males, none on the females, and there are no other females on this planet. So when Daisy Ridley crashes there and the colony just goes insane because they're like, oh my God, it's a woman.
I officially declare this. What the hell is that?
I feel like the film has a hard time trying to tell what it is. Like, is it a story of misogyny? The underlying tones of misogyny are pretty apparent. It also tries to be deeper than it is, and it gets a little convoluted and weird, and you're like, what are you trying to say? And if you're saying it, let's just outright say it. So it's a little weird, and I get why people didn't like it because of that. But the story itself, other than that, it's like pretty typical YA stuff. and you can see like a lot of the twists and turns coming a mile away. But so it's not terrible, but it's also not that great either. It's just it's just pretty mid. It looks great on 4K. That's the most I can say for it. And the next two are some DC animated movies that I had not seen yet. Batman Year One and Batman Soul of the Dragon. Now, Batman Year One originally released in like 2011, so this is like a 4K upgrade. Pretty good. I really enjoy it. I really like the animation style. I really like the story, like the origins of Batman in his first year as the Caped Crusader, and him forming the relationship with Jim Gordon and everything. And it gets pretty brutal at times, especially for a PG-13 animated movie. It gets pretty brutal at times, but I really enjoyed it. And then Batman Soul of the Dragon. Honestly, this one I wasn't really a huge fan of. I think the story itself is pretty cool, but I feel like Batman and Bruce Wayne kind of take a sideline to this, and it's not really much Batman. Probably not until the very end, and even then, it's like not enough to satisfy like Batman fans. And then the other thing that I didn't really care for was the animation style of this. It does try to capture the aesthetic and the essence of the 70s in which this takes place. But to be honest with you, the 70s is an era that I'm just not a huge fan of. I'd never liked the aesthetics or like the whole style and look of the 70s. It's just never been something I've liked. The 80s looks great, sounds great. 60s as well, in my opinion, sounds and looks great. But the 70s, that middle era between there, to me, just has never looked good, and I just couldn't vibe with the animation style. So this one might be the only thing that I got from Book Off in Honolulu that I might not keep in my collection. Another one I found for $4, brand new. I already watched it though. The Boss Baby, Family Business. I really enjoyed the Boss Baby movies. I need to get the first one on 4K. I think this movie it's fun. It's just dumb fun. I said it was brand new and I saw it, $4. I was like, why not? Whatever. Next up is a movie I haven't seen and kind of just been putting off for the longest time just because I'm just kind of done with superhero and comic book movies, if I'm being honest with you. I don't really go into them anymore with high hopes. I kind of just like, oh, that looks interesting. I'll end up watching it sometime. I'm just not hyped for them at all anymore. And I probably won't be. I mean, even now, like, I'm just not even hyped for anything coming out. Everyone's like, oh, you excited for this movie or this movie? And I'm just like, I guess I'll watch it sometime. I'm just not in a hurry. But anyway, I found Black Widow. This was something also that I've been waiting for to find for a very good deal. I was telling myself if I could find it for like $7 or something, then I'd get it. Got it at Book Off. $4. This is another movie too that just came out way too late and just didn't capitalize off of the popularity of Black Widow before they killed her off in Endgame. But nonetheless, I thought it was a very good movie. I found it very entertaining. Does it have the same issues that literally every Marvel movie has? Of course, but I still found it entertaining. I think David Harbour and Florence Pugh kind of steal the show, though. I thought their characters were hilarious, especially David Harbour's Red Guardian. I thought he was great. Although I would have loved to have seen him kind of go up against Captain America, which would have been awesome to see. But unfortunately, And funny enough, like Florence Pugh, I know a lot of people love Florence Pugh, but I've just never been a huge fan of her.
What did he say?
I know, don't kill me. But yeah, she's a great actor. I've just never seen anything she's done that's like really wowed me. That's like, wow, she is amazing. But in this, I thought she was very good and entertaining. This actually takes place during or right after like Civil War, and she's trying to like, just lay low, but has to find her family and kind of get a lot of things, settled in. And you get to see her backstory and everything, which I thought was really fun. Next up, something that has come full circle back into my collection, because this is actually the first 4K that I ever bought, and then decided that I didn't really want it in my collection because I didn't really see myself kind of diving deep into 4K at the time. And look at me now.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
And now I can finally appreciate it, because at the time I just didn't have a great setup, so all of my 4Ks didn't look that great. I watched this again, and although I remember liking it back then, now I just have a newfound appreciation because it just looks and sounds absolutely amazing. And that is The Martian. Matt Damon plays an astronaut that gets stuck on Mars after a storm, and his crew thinks he's dead, but he's not. And now he's got to figure out how to survive until somebody, comes up with a mission to save him, or he just, just trying to figure out how to live as long as he can before his supplies run out and he just dies. It gets pretty depressing and pretty morbid at times, but this cast is actually like stacked. Like you look at the movie and you're just like, damn, like everybody's in this movie. So that was also fun to watch, seeing all these like familiar faces pop in and out. But like I said, this is definitely a contender for my top 10 favorite 4K releases. It looks amazing. It's definitely in I would definitely say it's top 10 of just like the best looking 4Ks that I've ever seen. And a couple more animated movies. Spies in Disguise, really fun movie. Will Smith and Tom Holland. Will Smith is, you know, the great spy and everybody loves him. And then you got Tom Holland's little, like, he's the techie, nerdy guy who nobody likes because everything he creates is like non-lethal. And Will Smith's all about the lethal tech. But then, you know, Will Smith gets turned into a pigeon and it's hilarious.
Oh yeah! I'm gonna all over your face. Please don't!
I really enjoyed this movie. I've been wanting to upgrade it for a while. And this was another one that I've been waiting for to find for a good deal because although I did like it, there's a few elements of the movie that I just didn't really care for very much, but overall, pretty good movie. Encanto, or Encanto for those, you know, non-Spanish speaking people. But for those who are fluent in Spanish like me, it's Encanto. But yeah, Encanto, I think, is visually just stunning. I think it tries to convey a pretty good message about family trauma and just accepting the fact that although the people around you or the people in your family might be super talented and just like, you know, seemingly good at everything and you're not, that doesn't mean that you don't have worth. You are still special. You still have gifts and you're still an important part of the family. I think that's a great message.
Whoa, whoa. Hey.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that.
Here, put these on. Don't cry in front of the Mexicans.
One of the things that kind of put me off the first time I saw this was the fact that in the trailers, it made it look like it was an adventure movie or trying to find what makes her special among, you know, her entire family who have special powers. But the movie takes place in literally the same exact house and valley because they're encased and so they can't leave. The songs in it are pretty cool. Though the only song that I don't really care for is like the opening song where she starts to, you know, tell everybody who everyone is because they're singing and talking very fast. And you're like, unless you have subtitles on, I'm like, who is that person? Who's who again? Like, you're talking way too fast. Who? Can't keep up. I was able to find a steelbook for $12 of the Addams Family, the more babushka version, which is pretty funny because it's literally like 40 seconds longer or something like that. Not a whole lot, not a whole lot extra, but nonetheless, it's still pretty fun. Pretty good movie. Still had the J card on it and everything. It's yeah, I haven't been able to find this one anywhere. It sold out pretty fast in my area. I wasn't about to pay $40+ that people wanted on eBay for it, so found it for $12. And last but not least, my favorite pickup from a book off in Honolulu. Now, this is something that might not be super like appealing to you guys, but to me it is because it's something I've been looking for a long time, and I thought I was gonna have to pay crazy eBay or Amazon prices for it. And that is I Am Legend with Will Smith. This looks fantastic on 4K. It looks great. Sometimes it like blows my mind how some studios don't take really good care of 4K transfers for super popular movies. And then you have something like I Am Legend, which is a little bit controversial with like the ending and stuff like that. Or it's not considered a superly huge, well-regarded movie. Yet the 4K transfer on this is top tier. It looks great. It looks damn great. So when I found this at Book Off, it did not have a price on it. So, you know, so we go up to the counter and ask them how much it was. They weren't able to find anything on it and was like $4. And I was like, sold.
You got yourself a goddamn deal.
Obviously, I played it cool and I was like, oh, $4? Sure, why not? But as soon as I leave, I'm just like, oh my God, yes. So that was the best find of this Book Off haul. So that was it. Great haul, great birthday, great vacation. Had a really good time just chilling on the beach. Fruity drinks, chilling on the beach, tropical breeze. Got to hang out with my brother, you know, and then explored the island and found a Book Off and got a bunch of movies. So thank you guys for watching. I'm Fox, and that was my Honolulu Book Off haul. See you in the next one.